welcome to Draw the Day Creative Videos. I'm Alex and I'm a glass artist and an Arts for Wellbeing artist for Cartwheel Arts. I've made these videos so that you can follow along and I'll show you what materials you'll need. Today's activity is all about taking your time. So let's grab some materials and work together. Today we're going to be making splatter abstract art. You'll need a few simple materials to get you started. Firstly, you'll need a sheet of A4 paper. Secondly, you'll need some masking tape. And finally, you'll need something to colour in. This might be paints, or possibly pencils, crayons, felt tips, or even highlighters. The first thing we need to do is to split our paper into sections. As you can see, each section has different colours on it. How we're going to split it into sections is using masking tape. So, on your table, you should have some masking tape and a sheet of A4 paper. The first thing you need to do is to rip off a strip of masking tape, like this. And what we're going to do is to remove some of the stickiness, we're going to either stick it to the table or you can stick it to yourself before we put it onto the piece of paper. Then we're going to place it down really gently, just like this. Okay, so that's our first strip down. You're going to need to carry on putting strips to split your piece into lots of different sections. So I might do my next piece just about here. You want to press it down, but not too hard. If you press it down too hard, it'll stick to the paper and rip it when you take it back up. Keep ripping strips of tape, all different lengths and sizes. I think I might do a really long piece now. It runs right across the piece of paper. You can see we've started to get quite a few different sections now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different sections. Now you could stop there or you can do a few more. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do a couple more. think I might put my last piece here. Okay, so if you have a little bit that sticks out like this, just rip it off so that you get a nice neat end. What you don't want is your raggedy ends sticking into the middle of the page. If you are using scissors for any of this, make sure you get an adult to help you. Okay, so for me, I think that's ready. The next stage, we're going to either be using paints. If you don't have paints, we can always use pens. So here I've got some Posca pens or felt tip pens or coloured crayons or possibly even highlighters. Whatever you can find lying around the house, anything works. To start off with, I think I'm going to use paint. Now if you're using paint, just make sure that your table is completely covered first. You don't want to be getting paint everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to start with one small section. I think I might start with this section. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my paint to fill in the section. Okay, so just nice light brush strokes. You don't want too much paint on your brush. It's just regular poster paint. But any paint you've got going is absolutely fine. Here we go. Don't worry if you go onto the masking tape, that's why it's there. I think I might do another section in that colour too. Quite like blue. You can choose any colours, doesn't really matter as long as they're colours that you like. Okay, so that's a couple of sections done in blue. If you're using paint, don't forget to wash your brush between goes. If you don't have a brush, you could always use a sponge. Now here I've got a regular dish sponge. I've just chopped it in half. And as you can see, you can actually dab this straight into the paint and then sponge the paint onto your piece of paper. That actually adds quite a nice texture to the paint as well. Yeah, I think I might do another section in yellow. Okay, so we've got a couple of sections in yellow. Then I think I might use some pens for the next section. So lying around my house, I happen to have quite a few different highlighters. So I think I might use highlighters. So here, I think I'm going to do this section with highlighter. As you can see, it works just as well as the paint. Okay, just make sure you go right to the edge. If you're not quite to the edge, that's fine, you can go over it again. That's it. And I think I might do a section over here. You don't have to fill the whole section either, you could do it more like stripes. Whatever takes your fancy. Okay, so that's those sections. I think I might go back to paint for another section. How about we use the sponge again? Do some red. Okay, so we've got a red section there. What about a red section up here? Okay. And then I think I might use pencil crayons for another section. So I've got, what colour should we use? Let's try an orange. So if you're using pencil crayons, you can either draw straight on, or you can rub your pencil crayon on its side to get quite a nice even colour, like this. You can go over it a couple of times if it's not quite dark enough. There we go, that's that section. And I think I might use a nice light blue in this section. Same thing again, just rubbing my pencil gently on the paper. I can always add a little bit more colour, just drawing over the top. There we go. And then we've got one more section. How about we use a crayon for that section? I've got some regular colouring crayons here. I can use a crayon. Let's try it. There we go. Now, this is the fun bit. So if you do have paint, splatter art works really, really well. What you want to do is make sure your whole surrounds are covered really, really well. Take an old paintbrush with an end that you can flick and get some paint on it. So here I'm going to get a little bit of this lovely green colour on my paintbrush, and I'm just going to flick it downwards towards the paper, like this. An old toothbrush would work just as well. So if you've got an old toothbrush, you could use an old toothbrush for this too. Or if you've not got paints, if you've got a little bit of ink, you could use. I'm going to use a little bit of this one, I think. You can splatter with lots of different colours. So here I'm going to splatter with red, I'm going to splatter with green. You could splatter with white. If you're doing a night effect, it works really well splattering with white on a dark blue. If you run out of paint, just put a bit more on. We'll keep splattering. That's it. If you get little drips, don't worry too much. That all adds to the effect. Closer to the paper the better, so don't splatter from all the way up near your head. As you can see, I'm splattering over everything, not just the paint, I'm splattering over the top of all of my different colours. Make sure you're washing your paintbrushes or using a different paintbrush when you start to use a different colour. The blue works really nicely. do one last splatter. I think we'll use yellow. As you can see, some paints work better than others. The thinner the paint, the better. If it's too thick, it sticks a bit too much to the brush, which isn't great. Poster paint is absolutely perfect for this. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. So what we need to do now is we need to take the tape off. So make sure your hands are nice and clean. If they're covered in paint, give them a little wipe first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take off the tape. Now you need to take it off really gently and slowly. You don't want to rip it off too fast, because if you take it off too fast, you'll rip your paper. So here we go, that's the first piece done. Once you've done it, just scrumple up your tape. This one. If it does start to tear your paper, don't worry, just be really gentle. Or try pulling it from the other end. Like this. There we go. That's that bit. You can see all the different sections starting to be revealed. Careful if you've got wet paint that you don't rub your sleeves in it. There we go. And any bits that aren't too neat, just neaten them up slightly, like this. Neaten all that up. And you've got your splatter art. Now, in between, if you want to, you can add a few extra details. You can either use a biro, or again, you could use pens. I've got Sharpie here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some details to the sections in between. So I think I might add some little dots along this bit here. And around this section, I think I'm going to do some little lines. There we go. Oh, what else could we add? We could add little circles. And we can add some crisscrosses. So you start to add details to your piece of paper. You can also add things in the pictures, so you could draw in each of the different sections something that you like, or you could write happy words. So I'm going to write things that make me happy in each section. So what makes me happy is the sun. So in this nice bright one, I'm going to write the sun. Family makes me happy, so I might write in this one family. In this one, what could I add in this one? My dog. I love my dog. Now my dog definitely makes me happy, so I'm going to put him in this one. Art. Art always makes me happy. So I think I'm going to put art in this one. So I'm going to fill each of these different boxes with things that make me happy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed following along with this video. If you did, please like and share it with your friends and family. We'd love to see what you've created today. Please tag us with @cartwheelarts and #drawtheday with any pictures you put online, or you can email your pictures to admin@cartwheelarts.org.uk and we'll feature them in our Draw the Day online gallery. Until next time, goodbye.